Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tira Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava 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 Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol, Nitai Gora Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol. Nitai Gora Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Ram Sankirtan Jai, Shri Prabhupada Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavaterottama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 68, verse number 54. Adyapi cha puram hi etat suchayadaram vikramam samunnatam dakshinato gangayam anudrishyate. Adyapi cha puram hi etat suchayad rama vikramam samunnatam dakshinato gangayam anudrishyate. Adyapi cha puram hi etat suchayad rama vikramam samunnatam dakshinato gangayam anudrishyate. Adyapi cha puram hi etat suchayad rama vikramam samunnatam dakshinato gangayam anudrishyate. Mataji. Yes. Word to word meaning. Adya, today. Api, even. Cha, and. Puram, city. He, indeed, etat, this, suchayat, showing the signs of Rama, of Lord Balaram, Vikramam, the prowess, Samunnatam, prominently elevated, Dakshinataha, on the southern side, Gangayam, by the Ganges, Anudrishyate, even seen. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Even today, the city of Hastinapur is visibly elevated on its southern side along the Ganges, thus showing the signs of Lord Balram's prowess. Srila Prabhupada writes as follows: for the most part, it was the practice of the Kshatriya kings to inaugurate some kind of fighting between the parties of the bride and bridegroom before the marriage. When Samba forcibly took away Lakshmana, the elderly members of the Kuru dynasty were pleased to see that he was actually the suitable match for her. In order to see his personal strength, however, they fought with him, and without any respect for the regulations of fighting, they all arrested him. When the Yadu dynasty decided to release Samba from the confinement of the Kurus, Lord Balaram came personally to settle the matter, and as a powerful Kshatriya, he ordered them to free Samba immediately. The Kauravas became superficially insulted by his order, so they challenged Lord Balaram's power. They simply wanted to see him exhibit his inconceivable strength. Thus, with great pleasure, they handed over their daughter to Samba, and the whole matter was settled. Duryodhana, being affectionate towards his daughter Lakshmana, had her married to Samba in great pomp. Balram was very satisfied after his great reception from the side of the Kurus, and accompanied by the newly married couple, he started towards his capital city of Dwarka. Lord Balram triumphantly reached Dwarka, where he met with many citizens who were all his devotees and friends. When they all assembled, Lord Balaram narrated the whole story of the marriage, and they were astonished to hear how Balaram had made the city of Hastinapur tremble. Thus ends the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 68th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Marriage of Samba. Let us have prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकानिचन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we'd like to seek blessings from all the Vaishnavas who are present here so that we can speak something for the glorification of Lord and for my own benefit and purification. So in this chapter it describes about how Kurus they kidnapped Samba and they had a fight and they defeated him in the battle in not so much legitimate way and they arrested him. And then when Lord Balaram went to free Samba, so Kurus disrespected Lord Balaram and then Lord Balaram had to show his prowess to get Samba released. So we all are dependent on Krishna or we all are dependent on God and God is Krishna. So we all are dependent on Krishna. Sometimes we realize, sometimes we don't realize, right? Sometimes we have this understanding and feeling that, yeah, I am dependent on Krishna. Sometimes we don't feel so much that I am dependent on Krishna. Generally, people feel that sannyasi is dependent on Krishna. Some people feel that brahmachari is dependent on Krishna. Some even don't feel that also. And some people they feel that grahastha is not supposed to be dependent on Krishna. So whether it is whatever you may think or whatever you may not think, ultimately everyone is dependent on Krishna. Everyone is dependent on Krishna, whoever he may be, and even the animals, plants, everything is actually dependent on Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says that you cannot even move your hands if Krishna doesn't sanction it. So in that way, we all are dependent on Krishna, and Krishna is actually maintaining us. He is actually taking care of us, right? And if we realize it, then we will be happy. If we don't realize it, then we will be in a miserable state of situation where we will try to, because one thing is, if a child is there, if he understands that my parents are there, right, so then he is always anxiety free because ultimately everything will be taken care by the parents, right. The child is actually most of the times the children, their life is Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So if you see the lives of children, their life is very anxiety free. They don't have anxiety, they don't have insecurities, they don't have fear, right? Because they are protected by their parents. So, and they are like, they live their life in a very happy and carefree way, right? So, similarly, if we if we have this faith and conviction that Krishna is there and he is maintaining us and he is taking care of us, then we can also be fearless, we can also be happy. Now we can also be free from anxiety. Otherwise we have so many different type of anxieties and fears and insecurities because we don't have that faith, we don't have that understanding that actually I am dependent on Krishna. So uh, once we were hearing one lecture, so in that it was spoken that there was one person, he was not a devotee, and he said that I am what I am because someone loved me. So he was referring to his parents who had taken care of him very nicely, and he was referring to all the people who were involved with him, who supported him, all his relatives and friends who were involved. So similarly, as devotees, we have to understand that we are what we are by the mercy, by the mercy, by the mercy of Krishna, right? We are what we are by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. We are what we are by the mercy of spiritual master. We are what we are by the mercy of Vaishnavas, right? So that thing we should always remember and we should always keep reminding ourselves. Otherwise, it will not be surprising that we will become proud. And Krishna never tolerates pride in the heart of his devotees. Just like we see for Kurus, Krishna did, Balaram, he had to do so much of uh, purification for them to make them free from their false pride. So, similarly, for devotees also, if they become falsely proud, then Krishna gets involved and he has to do something to dissect our false ego and make us free from our false pride and purify us. Right? We see this in the case of Indra also, that Indra was falsely proud. Although person may know the philosophy, person may know what is right and what is wrong, still to get that uh, realization from within, it takes time. So Indra somehow he forgot that he is not the supreme, and he became very disturbed when Krishna he took away the offerings. So sometimes we have to understand that ultimately everything belongs to Krishna, and he has given us so many things. If he takes away some, what is, how does it matter, and is it really great? So he was receiving honor and worship from so many people. The demigods were worshipping him, and during that time it was Dwapar Yuga. So the earth was still pious. So there were yagyas. You know, the yagya in the Vrindavan was not the only yagya which was going on. Perhaps there were very big kings who were also doing yagyas, who were worshipping Indra. Right? So he was receiving honor and worship from everywhere. And ultimately, these demigods, they are supposed to be, actually they are the representatives of God. Right? Just like whenever you take a authoritative, any authoritative role, you represent Krishna, you start representing God, right? Just like king is a authoritative role. So then the king is considered to be the representative of Krishna. Guru is considered to be the representative of Krishna. So any authoritative role is actually uh, the person who takes that authority, he actually starts representing Krishna. He takes that authority on behalf of Krishna. So similarly, these demigods, they were they get their powers and they represent Krishna. And Indra, he was actually representing Krishna. He was the representative of Krishna. So if you are representing someone and ultimately if the worship goes directly to him, how does it matter? It doesn't matter at all. Rather, Indra should be happy. A devotee who is non-envious, he becomes happy. When the Lord is glorified, when the spiritual master is glorified, he doesn't become envious. When Vaishnavas are glorified, he doesn't become envious. He becomes happy. Okay, these devotees, they have done something wonderful, so let them be glorified. If spiritual master, he is great, he is a special soul, he is a representative of Krishna, so definitely he is meant to do great things, right? So we should be all filled with all praises for our spiritual master. Sometimes people are it says that the mentality where a person he considers his spiritual master as an ordinary person, or he starts comparing himself with the spiritual master, such a person, his intelligence stays in hell, hellish. So the consciousness of such a person is hellish, right? So if a spiritual master, he is meant to do great things, he is a special person, he is especially empowered, we stand nowhere in front of him. So if he gets glorification, we should be very happy, we should feel proud that okay, spiritual master is doing so wonderful and he is so great that he is delivering so many thousands of people, right? Similarly, when Vaishnavas, they do great things, every Vaishnava is separately empowered by Krishna. Every Vaishnava may have his special skills, special talents which Krishna has awarded him. Different Vaishnavas may exhibit different type of prowesses, different opulences which they may have. Some Vaishnavas may be very good speakers, some Vaishnavas may be very good managers, some Vaishnavas may be very good in fund collection. So many different type of, some Vaishnavas may be very good in dealing with the politicians, legal cases, and all these things. Everything requires a specific expertise. So they are doing good in their field of activities. We should feel happy. We should appreciate them heartily. And some Vaishnavas may be, we may be expert at something. Some Vaishnavas may be more expert than us in that thing, and we should feel happy about them. We should feel appreciative. We should appreciate them. Oh, he's special. Why? Because this Vaishnava is exhibiting the prowess of Krishna. If we become envious of him, then we are actually envious of Krishna, right? We are actually envious of Krishna. So all the vibhutis that devotees exhibit, Krishna empowers them, Krishna gives them those opulences, and we should be happy, we should feel happy about it, because Krishna may empower someone to serve him in a specific way, and Krishna is taking that service from him. So we should feel very happy, we should not feel envious, right? So so that's why uh, when someone he compares himself with the with the senior Vaishnavas or with the spiritual master or with other Vaishnavas, even with juniors, then such a person, his intelligence is actually said to be in hellish condition, and he has to very quickly purify himself and come out of this uh, condition. So that's why Indra, he was, even if the worship has gone to Krishna, he should have become happy, and he should have felt happy about it, that Krishna is getting directly worshipped, right? So, so somehow he became envious, and he attacked Vrindavan, and he was very proud. And Krishna, he did the entire Leela in a very dramatic way, and smashed all his false pride, and and uh, na- and again Indra became humbled, and it surrendered to Krishna. So that's why when devotees, they become proud, they start feeling that I am someone special. They start feeling that I deserve worship, or I deserve a special respect, or people have to give that attention to me. That is what is alarming situation. And then Krishna, he gets into action. He's always into action, but when he sees such type of things, he's especially into action. And then he may arrange certain situations and certain uh, certain experiences in our life by which we come to that realization and conviction that actually we are not all in all. Krishna is the supreme. There are many Vaishnavas and devotees who are better than me, and I am less than all of them. And this is not depression. For your kind information, this is not depression. This is a healthy self-esteem, right? Healthy self-esteem means neither you are up nor down. You are at your own level. If you are depressed, you are down. If you are too much proud, you are above, right? So a devotee, he is neither depressed nor he is too much of he is not having too much of false pride, right? He is having that healthy self-esteem, right? Just like when Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, he said that I am lower than the worm in the stool. Someone may say, oh my God, these are the words of chronic depression, and no, the patient needs some attention. No, the one who is thinking, he needs that attention, and he should go and get himself treated, right? So these are the feelings of a Vaishnava, and these are natural feelings of soul. This is, don't think that this is these are, it is very natural for us. It is natural for soul to in a purified state. The soul has become purified, it's natural for the soul to feel like that. Just like human beings have certain tendencies and certain nature, every species has certain nature. Similarly, soul has certain nature, and one of that nature is humility, where the soul has that healthy feelings that everyone is better and I am meant to serve everyone else. I am the servant, right? Everyone is the master, right? So that's why these are not abnormal things. These are normal things. For the people who are falsely proud, they feel that these are abnormal. No, these are very normal things. These are healthy, finer sentiments. That's why it is said that as Kali Yuga progresses, the finer sentiments of people, they go away, right? They don't realize, right? Sometimes people have so much of money, they feel that I am generating this money, and they feel very proud. They don't know that the money will be left behind. They will be just nowhere after some time. Uh, Someone else will enjoy that money, right? So people don't have that understanding. People don't have that uh, uh, realization, right? People feel even at the fag end of their life, there is still very much working hard to earn money, very much working hard to enjoy the material world, right? But then we have to understand that actually everything at the end of the day will be taken, right? The basic thing which a person is taught in Krishna consciousness is that you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. So spirit soul means the journey is ongoing. The journey will go on. This is not the last journey you are having, right? Sometimes when we go for when we are studying in school, if you are told that this is the last exam that you are going to face, and what about results? No results are going to come. What about promotion? Nothing is known. We don't know whether what is there after the exam. So what will happen? Will anyone get any motivation to study, right? If there are no results, if there is nothing known what will happen beyond the exam, then people, they will become more irresponsible, right? So similarly, when people don't know that soul is there, when people don't know that this is not the only life, there is future life also, when people don't know that death is like an exam, and if I pass the exam, I will go to the next body, or I may go back home, back to Godhead. If I don't pass, I may be demoted also, and I may suffer more. I am responsible for my actions. I cannot just be carefree that I can do anything and everything, and then I can just get away with whatever I am doing. So when people know that, they develop that sense of responsibility, that I have to lead my life in a very responsible manner. Sometimes people think that, okay, why I am suffering in this life, right? Some one person, he asked me that, why we are suffering. So I said, we cannot directly tell people that it is your karma, because they feel offended, right? So we have to tell them in a very respectful manner that, yeah, sometimes, just like the world is governed by the law which applies everywhere, for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So yeah, sometimes we may do something to the people. The reaction may come in some different forms. So when they hear this, they say, okay, uh, but if I have done in this life, I have not done anything. I clearly remember that the type of experiences I had, I never gave such experiences to anyone else. Then why I am suffering? So then it is the previous backlog. That's why you are suffering. Then okay, if it is my previous backlog, they are very concerned about the person who has hurt us, whether he got punishment or not. That is their great concern. They say कि इसने मुझे punish किया है, या he has hurt me, he has disturbed me, he should be punished, and I should be there to see his punishment. So they say, okay, he will get punished in next life, I will not be there. I will not be there to see what is happening to him. So they want to see that just like you have made me suffer, I should also make him suffer, or I should at least see. If I cannot hurt him, if I cannot do anything, then at least I should see कि उसका कुछ तो हो गया. Then I get relief. अच्छा चलो, मेरे को बहुत परेशान किया था, इसका भी वही हुआ जो होना चाहिए था, the good end, right? So one thing we have to understand as devotees. Now this is little off from the discussion. हमने किसी को punishment देने का ठेका नहीं ले रखा है. We have not here to give punishment. Neither we are here to purify others. We are here to purify ourselves. And whether someone gets punished or doesn't get punished is none of our business. है ना? That is Krishna who is handling this. The laws of nature are handling. Right? Once what happened, I was coming. So I was coming with a group of devotees, and then TT came, and now when devotees travel in groups, lot of brahmacharis together, then we exchange the names. It happens. Some people they cancel at the last moment. They say I'm not coming. Some people they want to join in at the last moment. So we cannot change the names, right? So we exchange the names. We tell, okay, this is that. ऐसे करके, ओके प्रभु जी आपसे नाम पूछेगा तो आप ये बता देना, आपसे नाम पूछेगा तो आप ये बता देना, लाइक दैट. एंड देन वी आल्सो कैरी, जिसका नाम है उसका आईडी कार्ड भी ले लेते हैं. और आईडी कार्ड जो आधार कार्ड, उसका उसमें चेहरा तो आप सबको पता ही है, यू नो what type of face people have. So even if someone else shows your Aadhaar card, people may not be able to recognize most of the times, है ना? So once we were traveling, and one devotee, he was somehow he was too simple. So I said, see, he's because it was night time, so we have to get the ticket checked quickly so that we all can take rest. So I said, call him, we can get the ticket checked. So he said, please come, ना हमारा टिकट चेक कर लीजिए. उसने पूछा आपका नाम क्या है. So I told him, don't tell your real name, tell this name. He told his real name, and then he started searching. He said, ऐसा तो कोई नाम नहीं है यहाँ पर, आप मतलब ना कहाँ पे आप कि कौन है आपके साथ. Then he started checking the entire thing, and then he came to know, and then he started finding us, right? So I had a fight with him, because in the sense I didn't want to give money, so I was like, I had a good discussion with him. I said, no, no, एक का आई कार्ड लगता है, सबका आई कार्ड दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है. I said, he said, no, everyone, if the TT is feeling doubtful, he has the right to check everyone's I card. Sabka I card tha hi nahi. So then we fought for some time. Then we realized that things are going to get heated up. So we dealt with the matter. We settled the whole thing. So after the whole thing happened, I felt little disturbed. I felt disturbed in the sense I felt rather offended. I should not have, but I felt offended. Who is he to such type of misbehavior? Why he did? And so I was like feeling very disturbed. Maybe someone else will punish him. So I was just thinking, usko punishment to milega. Usne theek nahi kiya. He troubled all the devotees. So maybe he has not done the right thing. And then I was traveling. So next day I got up and I was chanting. So after some time, suddenly one thought came to my mind that okay, if he gets punishment, will I be there to see it? So the answer was, I will not be there. I will not be there to see it because he's gone. मेरे को उसका नाम भी नहीं पता है. Whether afterwards he disturbed devotees, not disturbed, that is different thing. Whether he may get suspended from his job or some other calamity will come upon him, I don't even know his name. He's gone. He just got down after few stations and now no more contact. Right? So why I should become miserable? Thinking too much about it. It's gone. It's finished. Right? So that's why we as devotees also should not be too much bothered. Right? Sometimes the materialistic people will trouble us. Sometimes even in the devotee community we may get troubled, but we should not be too much bothered about taking revenge. We should not be too much bothered about ki kya hua and what justice happened to him, what justice did not happen. It's none of our business. Whatever has happened has happened. We got purified. Now let me move ahead. Let us march ahead in our journey of Krishna consciousness. Whatever may have happened will happen to this person will happen. It's just like a journey. Some people come with us, they give us those experiences, they get down. That's it. The journey is going. Our journey is going. Whether their journey is going or not, it's up to them. Right? So they have got down now. Finished. So that's why people ask, I will not be there to see what is happening. So then I told them that actually it doesn't matter whether you are there or not. The laws of nature will do their work. Right? Then they said, okay, if I have given that experience in the previous life, I don't remember what I have done. So what is the point? What is the point in punishing me in this life? Why should I get punishment in this life? I said, the type of experience you have got, would you like to give the same experience to someone else? He thought for some time. He said, no. I said, this is what was meant to be taught to you and you have learned your lesson. So many times when we experience certain things, we might have that tendency to hurt others. We might have that tendency to be unkind to others. We might have given those bad experiences to others. We might have given those mental and physical pain to others in our previous life. And whether we remember or don't remember, the general tendency of the people is when they get that bad experience, they suffer, and if he is little sane and he is rational, he is intelligent, and he is not psycho, he is not sadist. Sadist people, they start thinking that just like in colleges it happened. I was ragged. Now it is not there so much. I was ragged. And they are not, means if you ask them why you are ragging, do you get some special pleasure? No, my seniors ragged me and I was troubled. So I want to trouble all my juniors also. I'm not a bad person as such, but they made me all do all nonsense. So I also want to make you do all nonsense, right? So the point is that when people, if the person, mostly, generally, what is the response of the people? They say, okay, I have suffered so much. I got these experiences. Now I don't want to give these experiences to others because I know how it feels like. I know how it feels like when people don't behave kindly with you. I know that. So I don't want to give that experience to others. And that's it. The job is done. You have learned your lesson. Right? Now you may not repeat it in future. Right? So that's it. Now, whether the other person got that, whether he will get the punishment, he will not get punishment, it's none of our business. This world is like a hospital where we have to learn our lessons. where we have to get purified and then just keep moving ahead in our journey of Krishna consciousness. So that's why being devotees, we have to be very careful that we should not become too proud. Otherwise, there will be, then Krishna has to get involved. Right? We have to naturally feel that humility. Sometimes people say, Prabhuji, it is not going to come in one day, right? Sometimes people come and they try to make their life miserable. Whether they are devotees, they are non-devotees, they means nowadays there is so much of pressure, so much of competition in the materialistic world. Even devotees, whether they are devotees, whether they are non-devotees, they keep themselves miserable. They want to remain miserable. They want to remain miserable. ये नहीं हो रहा है, वो नहीं हो रहा है, this is not happening, that is not happening. One yesterday I was talking to one student. Now this student, he is going to school also, he is preparing for his every day he has to go to school. He has only 2 days remaining for his study. So 2 days he comes to coaching, and then he has 3 to 4 hours to study. And then he was miserable, crying tears. Sir, I am not able to do anything. My parents are investing money, this, that, so many things. So then I asked, what is the schedule? And then I said, he actually cannot do anything. He's busy. Why? Even if he doesn't do anything, he doesn't waste his time at all. He needs some time for himself, na? To relax, to sleep. He needs some proper sleep. So I didn't suggest him anything. I said, just keep going. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Just keep going with the flow. That's what best I could suggest him. Just keep going with the flow. Don't become so miserable. And at last I said, why you want to make your life so miserable, thinking so much? Be happy. थोड़ा खुश रहा करो. Just be happy. And he was touched. He said, yes sir, I will try to be happy. So same thing applies for devotees also. Don't make your life too much miserable by thinking too many things. This is not happening, that is not happening, this is not working out, that is not working out, job is this, that, so many things. And we think so much, we become paralytic, and then we become miserable. We are responsible for our misery and happiness. We don't have to become miserable. We know that, see, the materialistic things, the things around us, they keep changing. There will be ups, there will be downs. You should know how to deal with it. And we have to understand that ultimately, until unless Krishna doesn't will, for devotees, everything happens by the will of Krishna. So if Krishna doesn't will, anyhow nothing is going to happen. So better to be happy. You do your job, you do best, and then be happy. Sit down, chant Hare Krishna, do your sadhana, khush raho. And don't unnecessarily try to harbor too much of load, too much of pressure. Right? So that's why we being devotees, we have to understand that we have to be happy. We should not try to become proud. We should always feel naturally humble, naturally humbled. And otherwise, if we don't naturally feel humble, we will be humbled by the situations. The situations will humble us, right? So the experiences will humble us, right? So that's why uh, a devotee, he should have that natural uh, consciousness, the consciousness that these words are very very important. Sometimes people feel, now I am how many years I am into the movement, so I am now 15 years, 16 years, 19 years, 20 years I am in the movement, so I am senior, so right? So I deserve respect. Now I am senior, people should not misbehave with me. I am senior, so they should worship me. As soon as I come, there should be arti of me. And I should get all special facilities and special privileges. This is, I'm not joking. People think like that. People think like that. So now the point is, uh, I don't think, personally, I don't think that it is a healthy thought process. That thinking that I am senior, now we will be the most miserable people, because there is no one whom everyone respects. There will be some people who will not respect you. There will be some people who will purify you. There will be some people who will consider you that you are a black person. For them, you are a villain because you have spoiled their life. There will be some people always. Why we should expect respect from everyone? And first of all, why we should think ourselves as seniors? No, we should be. I am just a devotee, practicing devotee. I don't derive my strength by thinking myself as senior. No, I don't derive my strength. Actually, that is not the strength. That is false understanding, right? So that's why when we start feeling like that, it actually hampers our progress. It actually hampers our progress, right? Sometimes people feel that this devotee, like if we are there, we should, like if someone is empowered by the authorities and he is speaking, so we should be there. Whether means we cannot be selective. Okay, this person, I have enmity with him. So when he gives Srimad Bhagavatam class, I will not come. No, this is not the right feeling. Yes, we may have positive experiences, negative experiences with all the devotees. It keeps going on. With everyone sitting here, we may have some positive experiences, we may have some negative experiences. But that cannot become the ground for respecting or disrespecting. We have to respect everyone. We have to respect everyone. And never we should feel that I am senior now, so I don't deserve to listen from this person, or I should not hear from this person. Maybe personal hearing, definitely you may have your choices, right? You may have to hear from your spiritual master, you may have to hear from Srila Prabhupada because you have a special liking for their lectures. You may want to spend time reading Bhagavatam. That is good. That's not a problem, right? But then disrespecting, consciously thinking, right, consciously judging the person, consciously disrespecting him, these are not the right feelings. These are not the healthy feelings for a Vaishnava, right? So that's why a devotee or a Vaishnava is unassuming. He doesn't assume himself to be very great. He doesn't think that I am a great person, I am senior, I am this, I am that. He doesn't derives his strength with all these things, right? So recently I was going for teaching, and people told me that you should go and introduce yourself that you are an IITian. So last session when I went, I introduced myself. This time I didn't want to introduce. I said, I don't want to. Let me do my things in such a way that let them find out. I don't want to speak. And it happened. For 3 months, I did my things. I did my job of teaching and everything. Later, they themselves got interested. Who is sir? Sir seems to be knowledgeable. Then they found out ye hai, ye hai. Then they themselves started finding out who is he, what is what, right? So that's why our actions, our behavior, our dealings should be such. Not that we have to speak it out. And we don't want to become great, first of all, right? We don't want to become something special, right? And we don't have to think like that. We don't derive our strength. We don't derive our strength by being an IITian. We don't derive our strength by holding some post and positions. We don't derive our strength by feeling a so-called feeling of senior, feeling that I am senior, I am better than others. Right? We don't derive our strength through that. We derive our strength by Vaishnava dealings, Vaishnava behavior. We derive our strength by our sadhana, by our personal practice of Krishna consciousness. We derive our strength by our services. When we start deriving our strength to all these external things, then very soon we will become unhappy and dissatisfied in Krishna consciousness. There is not much difference between this endeavor and the materialistic endeavor. So that's why we being devotees, we should be very careful. These are the weeds of Krishna. These are the weeds which come in the devotee, right? When he starts feeling that I am senior now. Right? Sometimes people tell me that now I have spent so much time, I don't deserve to be treated like this. Now we cannot control the behavior of other people. They may behave. They are free to behave the way they are behaving. I am not the person to control their behavior. But yes, do you know we can control it? How we can control it? Huh? Yes, by personal example, by ourselves behaving in a very Vaishnava way, right? It's like there is a story of, with this I will finish. There is a story of Prithu and Indra. So Indra was trying to destroy the sacrifice of Prithu, and then Prithu became angry and he wanted to take revenge from Indra. And then Lord Brahma he came and he stopped, right? And then it says that when we show our higher nature, it brings out the higher nature in others. When we show our lower nature, it brings out the lower nature of others. If the person is misbehaving, you don't have to react to the situations. Being devotees, we have to be very careful. Don't react, respond. Think deeply. If someone comes and offends you, understand that anyhow I am not this body, he may be offending me, doesn't applies to me, and these are his feelings about me. It does, what he feels about me doesn't makes me what I am. I am what I am, right? What he is thinking about me doesn't matter. So he's expressing his feelings about me. I am okay, let me hear it and let me respond in a very nice and very positive way. If it requires to be angry, okay, let me become angry. If that will help the situation. If it requires to be humble, if it requires to deal with the situation with humility, let me deal with it with humility. Why should I react to the situations? I should respond to the situations in a very proper way. So that's what a Vaishnava should do. And many people don't have this free will. Many people don't have this free will. They instantaneously they react because they cannot control their emotions. But being Vaishnavas, being devotees, we have to have that control over our feelings and emotions, where we don't react to the situations, we respond to them. And we respond to them in a very Krishna conscious way, where we respond to them in a very Vaishnava way. And many times you will experience that the other person he is showing his lower nature. But when you go and show your higher nature, right, the person he becomes completely different. He gets that inspiration, and then somehow or other his higher nature also comes out, and then the things become on a very wonderful way. Things become very wonderful. It's like the person he is in there in the gutter, and you also jump with him in the gutter. Then both of you will become dirty, right? Your consciousness will also go down, right? But when we behave in a very Vaishnava way, we respond in a very Vaishnava way, then what happens? We show our higher nature. The other person will also start showing his higher nature. There's one story of Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, where one they had gone for some yatra, and one police person was there. He was in very high position. He was not allowing certain things to happen, and perhaps it was the mistake of devotees. They had broken some rules, and then there was problem, there was commotion, and Jayapataka Maharaj, he said, okay, let me go and talk to the person and deal with the situation. Now he is a spiritual master of thousands of people. He is guru and a special representative of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said he is the personal associate of Lord Chaitanya. He goes and bows down at his feet, and then immediately the person got shocked. He said, and then everything got settled, right? So it's like when we show that Vaishnava behavior, when we show that Vaishnava dealings, these Vaishnava dealings, this Vaishnava consciousness, Vaishnava behavior, they are very, very powerful. They are very, very powerful. We should never underestimate their power. They are extremely powerful, right? When you show these Vaishnava demeanors, right, people will ask you, how come you are such a good human being? How come you are such a good person? They will tell you. Materialistic people will tell you. Those who are drunkards and smokers, they will come and tell you, you are a very good human being. How come? Right? Because we have been trained in that way. We are following that Vaishnava dealing. We are following that Vaishnava behavior. It has the power to transform the hearts of others. Right? They will become attached to you. They don't know why. They don't know why they are attached to you, but they will become attached to you. Because a Vaishnava is a person. Vaishnava is a person who is meant to become attached to. A Vaishnava is a very wonderful person. Why we feel attached over the spiritual? Why we feel attached to our spiritual master? Right? Why we feel attached to Srila Prabhupada? Because they are pure Vaishnavas. Vaishnava is meant to be like that. Vaishnava is actually like that. Where people, they see him, they become inspired, they become attached to him. They don't want to leave him. And they consider him as their best friend. They feel like sharing their heart with him. Right? And they don't know why. But that is their thing. So anyhow, so these are certain of my thoughts. I'm sorry if I have spoken something beyond my realizations. But yes, these things are important and we have to give attention and we have to be careful as we move ahead in our Krishna consciousness. Many distractions, many weeds will do come, but then if we take shelter of the spiritual master, this last thing, many times people say, Ki Prabhuji, how come instantaneously? How can the things get changed? You are telling me to become happy. How can I instantly become happy? You are telling me to change this thing. How can I instantly do it? Yes, it is possible. By the mercy of spiritual master, it is possible. we regularly hear from the spiritual master. The Vani of spiritual master is very powerful. It's very, very powerful. We don't know the effect of the Vani of a spiritual master. It directly goes into the heart, whether we understand, we don't understand, and it purifies it. It brings us to the right platform. So we should regularly hear. We should regularly hear. And within no time, we will be situated on the right platform. Now, one thing is, yes, you have to take the dose regularly. If you don't take the dose, again you will be down. That is there. But then that applies for everything. You have to breathe repeatedly. It's not that you just take a puff of air and then you are done. No, we have to breathe repeatedly. We have to drink water repeatedly. We have to eat food repeatedly. We have to take bath repeatedly. So why not to hear repeatedly? And why not to read Bhagavatam repeatedly? Right? Why not to chant repeatedly? Yes. Why we should feel like that? Okay, ये तो मेरे को repeated करना पड़ेगा. जब तक मैं वो करूँगा मैं रहूँगा. जब तक नहीं करूँगा मैं नहीं रहूँगा. What is this? So if you eat food, you will remain healthy. If you don't eat food, that applies everywhere. If you don't eat food, you will not remain healthy. Simple. So these are the things. So thank you very much. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I go Premanandi Hari.